Hello there. My name is Tom Lanou, and as you have probably already figured out, I am the instructor for your online class. Make sure that you're seeing my screen here. Show my screen. No, you're not. Let's try show my screen. That should work a little bit better. You should probably see my screen. My screen right now is pulled up to the course page of your online class. Let me get rid of the webcam here, which is blocking my view. We will just turn this off. So what you should be seeing right now is the course page of your strategic management class. It's B-460 strategic management. This is my picture. You can see I've already posted a bunch of announcements, something you need to know about the course, how to get points in discussion forum, so on and so forth. However, what I know is a lot of people don't really like to read announcements. They prefer to watch videos, so we will try making a couple and see if it works. If this works out well for everyone, I'll keep doing it, and if not, I'll probably quit in a couple weeks. So what I have done for this first week is I've taken, if you go to Lessons, click on Lessons, and click on Week 1, some of you have already found this little thing called Presentation. Okay, Presentation. And if you click on it, what you get is a giant PowerPoint slideshow. But it's long, it covers the whole chapter. Some of the stuff's useful, and some of it is just building a PowerPoint for the sake of building a PowerPoint. So what I have done is I've taken that whole PowerPoint, I've boiled it down to what I consider the 4 most important slides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a couple minutes here just going through those 4 slides. It should give you a basic idea of what this class is all about and what you're going to do for the project. So let me go to my PowerPoint here. Let me go to slideshow. Isn't that lovely? Strategic management. This is a class on strategic management. Strategic management is a 4-part process, as most of you have figured out. Analyze the current situation. Okay, analyze. That's what your book calls situation analysis. We start there in that upper left corner, situation analysis. That's what most people call SWOT, S-W-O-T, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's the basic concept of where am I right now? Where am I? I'm in St. Cloud. Where do I want to be? I want to be in Brainerd. Okay? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What will help me get to Brainerd? What will keep me from getting to Brainerd? Okay? So that's the first stage, developing or analyze the current situation. The second stage is develop appropriate strategies. That develop strategies, which your book calls strategy formulation. If I'm in St. Cloud and I want to get to Brainerd, I could take the bus. Maybe I could take the train. Maybe I can start calling friends, see if I have any of them going to Brainerd. Well, I could even drive to Brainerd. And what the heck, if I decide to drive to Brainerd, then I have to decide on the strategy. Do I want to just drive up Highway 10? Do I want to go through Pierce, come in the back way to Brainerd? You know, I need to come up with all these strategies. So if the situation analysis was, where am I right now? The strategy formulation is more of a, where do I want to be and how do I think I'm going to get there? The third part, putting those strategies into action. And the key word there is action, folks. You're going to see that I use this phrase a lot in this class. Talk the talk versus walk the walk. The situation analysis, where am I right now? That's just talk the talk. The strategy formulation, where do I want to go and how do I think I'm going to get there? That's just talk the talk. But strategy implementation, that's actually walk the walk. You know, how am I going to do all those things that I said I was going to do? For those of you that like the movie Independence Day, yes, I kind of stole that line right from that movie. So I'll go back to my going to Brainerd story again. In my situation analysis, my SWOT, I decided I was at Brainerd and all the things, or in St. Cloud. I want to be in Brainerd. My strategy formulation, I went through a lot of different options: ride the bus, hitchhikes, drive a car, so on and so forth. Strategy implementation is where I have to actually put the rubber to the road, so to speak. So I decide, well, what the heck? I'm going to drive to Brainerd. It's a pretty time of year. It's a nice day out. I'm going to drive to Brainerd. Then I have to decide, well, am I going to drive through Piers or drive up Highway 10? Well, I haven't been to Piers for a while, so I decide I'm going to go through Piers. I get out my map. I get the routes all down. I get down to my car, and then I notice that my car doesn't have any gasoline. So I think, well, strategy implementation, I better buy some gasoline. So I pull out my billfold. But lo and behold, that's when I remember I worked for Rasmussen, so I don't actually have any money. So now my whole strategy implementation has gone to poo. I can't drive my car. I don't have any money to put gas in it. I have to come up with another strategy to implement. And in the end, what I do is I maybe decide to walk out to Highway 10 and hitchhike to Brainerd. Or maybe I go all the way back to strategy formulation or all the way back to my situation analysis and say, maybe I should just stay in St. Cloud. I don't need to go to Brainerd anyway. Okay? These are all the thought processes that you go through. And finally, that last one, evaluate, modify, or change the strategy. That was what I did when I realized in the implementation phase that I wanted to drive. It was going to take gasoline to drive. It was going to take money to buy gasoline. I didn't have any money. I went through that whole strategy evaluation, or maybe you like calling it re-evaluation. It's almost that back to the drawing board. In situation analysis, I figured out where I was. Strategy formulation, I figured out where I wanted to be and how I was going to get there. Strategy implementation, I actually had to walk the walk, but in the evaluation is when I realized that I couldn't walk the walk the way I wanted to. I have to come up with plan B, if you will. Okay? That's the process. Your text breaks it down into several different parts. This is just a visual as to where things are hiding out in your book. Your situation analysis, your SWOT, is really sitting in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 of your book. But your book does it backwards. Chapter 3 is external. That's the opportunities and the threats, the O and the T. Chapter 4 is internal. That's the strengths and the weaknesses, the S and the W. So it would actually make more sense in some respects for you to read Chapter 4 before you did Chapter 3 if you really have to stay in SWOT SWOT order, but it really doesn't make any difference. Then you get into the strategy formulation and strategy implementation phase. That's in chapters 5 and 6 and 7 of your book. So chapters 2, 3, and 4 are going to help you with your SWOT. Chapters 5, 6, and 7 are going to help you with your strategy formulation, your strategy implementation. And then, of course, strategy evaluation. There really is no way to put something like that into a textbook because that's just look at everything you did and say, well, it looked good on paper, but does it work in the lab? And sometimes the answer to that question is, boy, I really thought this was going to work, but it didn't. The other thing that's not on this slide that I would strongly suggest to you is if you have a copy of the book, electronic or hard copy, find Appendix A. In Appendix A, there's a partially completed strategic plan. It's not done all the way, but at least it will give you an idea of the massive project that you're going to be working on this quarter. Now, we're going to eat this elephant one bite at a time, but I'll be honest with you, at the end of the day, most of you are going to have a 15 to 20 page project. Next week, you pick the company. I would strongly suggest that you pick a company that you can get inside information on. A company you're working at currently, a company that you have a friend, a spouse, a significant other that works at, a company that you go to every day and you know the owners, someplace where you can get inside information. I'm probably not going to let you do your project on things like Walmart and Target. You just aren't going to be able to get enough inside information on those companies. You get a lot of fluff on the internet, but not a lot of solid inside information. You know, if you don't work anywhere and don't know anyone that works anywhere, If we have to drop into some other company, that's fine, but I think you will like the project more if you pick a company that you can actually interact with, talk to the owners, talk to the employees. I think it will make the project more fun. So with that, most of you have already figured out how to get hold of me. Let me go back to this course page here. Most of you know how to send me emails. I live in the online world. All 5 of my classes are online classes. I also Skype a lot, so for those of you that like to Skype, send me an email. I will send you my username, and then you can add me to your contacts, and we can Skype whenever you want. I will do my best to answer all of your emails as quickly as possible. Sometimes you send me one right when I'm logged on, and you get an answer right away. Other times you send me one when I'm in one of my other classes, or heaven forbid, walking my dog, or sleeping, or eating, or all the other things that people do. And so you might have to wait till tomorrow to get an answer back. But I check emails every day, so you should always get an answer back within a day. And with that, I think I'm going to sign this thing off. If you have any questions, please email me. If you didn't find this useful at all, then just please feel free to ignore it. Have a good day.